I'm Leanne Hart and I'm a Leadership and Wellbeing Specialist. I help people who lead a team to build the skills and confidence to positively impact the wellbeing of themselves, their team and their organisation. When you're leading a team and you hear the words workplace wellbeing, sometimes it feels like a balancing act, or it might even feel a little out of reach. How do you balance the needs of your organisation and the individual needs of your people and the team and get best outcomes and results for everybody? The good news is that one doesn't have to come at the expense of the other. And today I'm going to share a few proactive ways that you as a leader can get started with workplace wellbeing. So if we take a look at my 3 pillars of workplace wellbeing, we can see the physical health, the mental wellness, and the social connection. And not only as an employer, not only do you have an obligation to provide a physical and psychologically safe place of work, it's also great for your culture and for everybody in it. When we think about workplace wellbeing, we need to take a broader look beyond the fruit bowl and the yoga class and look at what we could be doing to support the 3 pillars through our policies, our leadership practices, our processes, our tools, and our resources. So let's start with physical health. A great place to start is by looking at the physical demands of the roles in your organisation. Do you have a good understanding of what people go through on a day-to-day basis? And how can you eliminate, at the very basis, the health and safety hazards that might arise from the physical activities that they do day to day? That might include things like ergonomics for people that are working at computers, but there's also people that are travelling in cars, lifting heavy things, moving around a variety of different work sites. Getting a good sense of how the workplace contributes to somebody's physical health is a great place to start. And then having a look at the workload and understanding the impact of the workload. It could be the volume, it could be the hours, it could be the type of work people are doing. How is that impacting the people in your team, particularly when it comes to things like sleep? A great thing to do is encourage breaks and movements. Regular breaks are good for our mind, but they're also great for our body, and anything that we do repetitively is better when we're taking a break from it and re-energising. You could encourage people to introduce movement into their day. Perhaps that's a walking meeting. Perhaps it's just a stretch in a chair. It might be taking a few minutes in a car to get out and walk around the block before they're back on the road again. Lots of ways that you as a leader and as an employer can encourage that break and movement into your team's day. And supporting healthy habits, things like nutrition. If you're hosting a meeting, rather than bringing out the bowls of lollies and sugar hits, is there something healthier that you could be introducing to bring energy to the team in a different way? All of those things contribute to the physical health of your team. When it comes to the mental wellness, building psychological safety is really a key aspect. And that's creating environments, whether it's in meetings, whether it's online, whether it's in settings where you're engaging a broader group, creating a place where people feel safe to belong, safe to speak up, safe to contribute, and safe to learn. In addition, recognising the emotional demands of the role. There's a lot of roles that come with quite a heavy load, particularly for people in caring roles or working with beneficiaries, and recognising the toll that that can take on your team is really important, and knowing how to support it. But it's not just that. Things like providing role clarity and giving people the autonomy to really own their role and to be accountable for the things that they do on a day-to-day basis all go a long way to support mental wellness. Creating mental downtime can come through flexibility. It might come through having an agreement that nobody is required to check emails after a certain time. What sort of rituals can you bring in so that people in the team get a sense that they've got that time where they can really clock off? And what support mechanisms do you have in place? It might be your employee assistance program, it might be professional supervision or peer support. Making sure that there is that physical and emotional support there available. Then cleaning up your work environment. Don't underestimate the power of a plant. Something green, or being able to see outside, or having something physical to touch that reconnects you with nature can go a really long way to providing a different sort of support. And last but very not least is social connection. How can you create opportunities for interaction? With teams working remotely these days, or often dispersed in a lot of different locations, it's really easy to underestimate the power of that interconnection and particularly with people that don't get to see each other on a regular basis. You could try wellbeing check-ins with your team, just checking in how people are going and inviting them to contribute in different ways. Recognise contributions, big and small, and that might look really different for somebody that's in a workplace versus somebody that's working from home or part-time or in a flexible capacity. Communicate, communicate, communicate. You can never have too much communication. And that could be right from the board or CEO level, right down to and across your volunteer network. How can you invite, involve, and include contributions from a really diverse number of your team members? The more people contribute, the more they feel like they belong, and there's trust and connection. So look for more ways that you can do that to increase the well-being of your team. And last but not least, as a leader, self-care is really important. The more that you sustain yourself, the better equipped you are to lead the team and to keep yourself healthy in the long term. So if this has been useful for you, click on the link below. Also feel free to like, subscribe or share. Thank you.